people say, sometimes people ask me, who are your comic heroes? Like, just who's your favourite comedian? And it's the same sort of answer that but less, it sounds more egotistical when you say, what are my projects? What projects do I like this? But if you say, who are my favourite comic heroes? And I honestly and can genuinely answer, it's always the people that I'm working with at that particular time, because they're the ones coming up with things that I'd never have expected. So it's sort of the same thing about any. If my limited experience of creating stuff is that when you come up with something and it fills you with a sense of glee, it's like, yes, then you're probably onto something. You probably, as a creator, you're probably on something. Whether that's a bit of stand-up or just annoying somebody who sent you some spam emails trying to get money off you and you're just cross, or somebody cold calls you and you decide to be your mother, or my pet hobby, making jewellery. Anything where you go, yes, that works, yes. Then, and I think as well, when you have that moment, maybe you're doing the thing where you're making, on some level, you're making a connection between two separate things. I'm sort of vaguely mentioning Kessler's theory of bisociative thinking, but I think he says in his book Act of Creation that when we see all art is about making a connection between something we wouldn't necessarily have made a connection with before. And in the case of art, we tend to go, when we see the Sistine Chapel or the Duomo in Florence, and you go, that's beautiful. But with jokes, because it's a bit of a low art, you tend to just go, make the connection. Right, yeah. And that's what I enjoy. So that feeling fades, obviously, as time goes by. So I'm really proud of some of the things I've done in the past, but they're so long ago that it seems like they were done by somebody else. So
why is that?
because I don't actually remember because memory's a funny thing, and you don't actually remember the motivation for doing it. All you remember is, if you think back on your own life, you go back on your 20s or 30s, it seems like, mine anyway, seems like the life of a madman, because I can't remember the motivations. I just remember the move from A to B to C to D, but I don't remember the emotional thing that took me through it all. So all the things in the past where I think, did I do that? I must have done that, but I'm no longer the artist creating it. I'm just the bloke who's curating an event in the past. I know loads of comedians who I was saying to you the other day, who are held ransom by the memory they have of the gig they did 20 or 30 years ago that they can't possibly compete with, because they don't remember how was I so brave, when did I get to that space? So I'm a bit like a goldfish. I also have a scaly skin condition, and so I just sort of, it's the present moment I think of, the things I'm up to right now. So this is great, and then I dare say 2-3 weeks time when I'm in Greece, that'll be great, because that's another comedy and creativity place. And of course, it's always good to have them to fall back on in this business. That's why I dog sit.